Nexus members, welcome to the Week 7 recap and award show. This is going to be an interesting one. It was very, very interesting this entire week. Obviously, the bye weeks are playing major factors and everything. But first, this recap and award show is brought to you by Camel Crush. If you can't crush the Bone Crushers, you might as well crush this. So let's start off with the first game, the first matchup of this week. None other than the Hefferators. Going against the undefeated Dirty Sanchez. And of course, the bye weeks play a great factor. Jimmy Graham's injury played even a bigger factor. And of course, Dirty Sanchez, the undefeated Dirty Sanchez, is still undefeated at 7-0. This is getting ridiculous. What the fuck is going on? But they always say, like I believe Mark even said it yesterday, when you're on the top, there's only one way to go, and that's towards the bottom. With 7-0, I believe if she wins the next matchup, she will be a lock in the playoffs. So, Lena, that's your job to stop. But she wins, and I had to go through these bye weeks with none other than Joe Flacco, who's earned himself a drop on my team, and he's absolutely terrible, and he should probably die. Moving on to the next battle, we got the Funky Medina's going against the Bone Crushers, and of course, the Bone Crushers, like when they crushed those bones, and they would just keep going and they crushed it, threw it away, and he was whipping his ass already before the game last night, and the fact is Brandon Marshall scores the touchdown, and it was just kept going up, and just really embarrassing the Funky Comedinas, because the Bone Crushers are so tough. And they crush the bones. Moving on to the next one, we got Ryan Leaf's comeback going against the Coney Island's finest. Now, you know what? I thought the Coney Island's finest were going to spread their little butterfly wings and they were going to win this matchup. But the fact is that Ryan Leaf's comeback, they came back and they win. And now he is pretty much almost there for a playoff spot. You got to keep on winning to probably get a lock in. But right now, he's looking pretty good. I believe he's in third place right now. But it's good enough because I'm sitting in last. Then we got none other than the Trees going against Lay That Ass. And the Trees pull out the victory. They're 3-4. And Mark is on his way back up. He was losing and now he's winning. He's starting to figure it out. He's going to come and he's going to surprise everybody. So got to keep an eye out for the Trees because it looks like they might be coming out to take another spot for the playoffs. Moving on to the next one, we got Lotus Flower Bomb going against the Replacements. Now, the Replacements came out last week and they fucking dominated. They kicked the shit out of me. She got the highest in the fucking records of the Nexus Fantasy Football League. But Lotus Flower Bomb was like, no, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not crapless crap. And takes the victory. She's 5-2. She's a tough fucking team. And right now, the way she's going, she might even lock herself in the playoffs too. It's crazy enough that the ladies, the two top teams in this league, is the Twins. What the fuck? This girl's never played fantasy football before. And none of them. And they're the two top teams. Guys, what is going on? Moving on to none other than everybody's favorite, the award show. Who's getting those awards this week? We're going to start with the MVP. It goes to none other than the Bone Crushers because they went and they crushed up the Funky Comedinas and they crushed his bones. So he gets the MVP for getting 171.4. That's twice. He's two-time MVP, but crushing those bones. Now, moving on to somebody's hurting for a squirtin'. And that's none other than Lay That Ass. Lena is hurting for a squirtin'. She got 71.3, which, back into the record books, was originally held with 71.6 by the Funky Comedinas. But now, the least amount of points ever scored in the Nexus Fantasy Football League goes to Lay That Ass, Lena's team, with 71.3. Step your game up, girl. You're 3-4. You still got a shot at least to move up into a playoff spot. Moving on to the next one, you got knocked the fuck out. And somebody got knocked the fuck out this week, and you know who delivered that knocked the fuck out? It was the Bone Crushers. They crushed up the Bounds, and Alex got knocked the fuck out by 44.4 points. The Bound Crushers, you gotta watch out for these guys. They're Bound Crushers. They're 4-3. Alex is 4-3 too, but you know what? The Bound Crushers, they're only in second place, and just getting ready. Tough team. I'm playing the Bone Crushers this week, and they're gonna crush my Bounds, but I'm gonna try to figure out it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna step my game up. I need to get a victory already. Next, we got coulda, woulda, shoulda, but they didn't do it, is going to none other than Shane. After tallying all the points up, if you would have started both Dustin Keller and Lance Moore, you would have won. Now, I mean, Lance Moore, I can understand starting. I mean, Vernon Davis got you 0, so that hurt you so much. So Dustin Keller at least would have did something for you. You got 22 points, I think. But the fact is you are coulda, woulda, shoulda, because you should have started Dustin Keller and Lance Moore, and you would have beat Ryan Leaf's comeback. So let's recap on that one. We're going to start with the MVP to none other than the Bound Crushers. They're crushing those bounds. The next is hurting for a squirt and goes to Lena with 71.3, which is, again, the lowest in the Nexus Fantasy Football League. Somebody got knocked the fuck out. Goes to the Funky Cow Medinas. They lost by 44.4 to the Bound Crushers. And, of course, coulda, woulda, shoulda has to go to Shane for not starting Dustin Keller and Lance Moore. If he would have did it, I personally think he would have spread the butterfly wings and he would have won. But he didn't do it. So I'll be back with the predictions for Week 8. It's getting close. Oh, wait a minute. By the way, need to make a little announcement. Now that we are now hitting Week 8, which is the halfway point, the playoffs start Week 14, so we're getting close. The money with a $10 fee is due this week. We would like to get the $10 from everybody so we can purchase our trophy. And at least within maybe the next 2-3 weeks, we'll actually have it. We can show you what the trophy looks like. And like I said, if nobody understands really how it's going to work again, the winner of Nexus Fantasy Football League will receive the trophy. They will get their name. Put these little slots. We're going to put the name there. It's going to have your team's name. That's why you got to stop changing team name. Your team's name, your personal name as the owner, and what was the other one? Oh, and of course the year that you won. Nobody cares about your record. And being the winner, you will then choose where the next draft will take place and how the picks will be made. If you remember how I did it, we obviously had the draft at the other apartment, and the picks were made by shooting the ball with the beer pong. We're playing beer pong to see who's going to get the draft picks. The winner will choose the place and how we will decide on how the lineups will, the draft picks will be. And don't pull the number in the hat game. Try to be a little fucking more creative. I mean, unless you have nothing better to think of. So that's what I wanted to mention. The $10 fee is due, so you need to get that fee in so we can finally purchase this trophy and get this shit going. Okay? So I'll be back with the predictions for Week 8 just in a little.